Oh yeah. Welcome, my name is Naomi, and it is currently the second week of September, and I have been itching to do fall things, but after a very dark and rainy, crappy summer, all of a sudden, it's 100 degrees outside. So we're gonna ignore that and pretend that it's fall. I have my lovely maple cinnamon coffee, and I'm going to start decorating and preparing for fall. And here is how I'm going to do that. So my plan is to go to the fabric store and get some fall-inspired fabrics. I want to use the fabric to make an apron. I actually plan on having one for each season at some point. And then I also want to get some chunky knit socks so that I can turn into cute little decorative pumpkins. And I want to make a table runner for this table that I'm currently drawing on, and then make that all pretty with some fall decor as well. So let's go into this beautiful summer weather that we're ignoring and go to the fabric store, which is kind of a candy store, really. Whew, it is hot. Everything's hot. My chair is hot. My steering wheel's hot. Everything's hot. It's fall vibes. I'm going to a fabric store that I have actually recently discovered. I had no idea it was here, and it's actually very close to my house. It is kind of a discount place, so they buy leftover fabrics, which makes them very, very affordable, which I like, especially for projects like this. It is perfect. So let's go and see what they have. While I am on the road, I also want to go into another store because a long time ago I bought a scented candle that I really, really liked. And it's actually a very fall-ish scent as well. And I can't really remember where I got it. So I'm gonna see if it was this store. Okay, so I was wrong. It was not there. But then I think I know which one it was. Thankfully, it is very close by. Let's try again. Okay, so it was this store, but they don't have that scent anymore. Sad. But at least now I know, and I can accept it. Let's go to the fabric store. Too blue. Too thin. Not quite. Too orange. I spent an hour inside that fabric store and I could not find what I was looking for. So I'm just going to use this. It looks a little bit like linen and it's a very nice muted orange. Let me get an apron just to have an example. Uh-oh. This is like magic. How is this supposed to work? I have no idea. I'll get a headache from looking down. Okay, this should work for now. Nope, it doesn't. How does it go? Like, I don't get it. How to tie neck strap apron. I literally typed this into Google and I get a video that is called How to Fasten a D-Ring Strap. So I'm not alone in this.
You take your loose end.
Oh. No, wait, what? I never knew how to do that. This one I think is a little bit too narrow up here. I can still get my clothes dirty, preferably with something that you cannot wash out, like pasta sauce. So I want this to be a little wider. I also want this part, like the body part, to be a little bit shorter because right now I actually usually end up doing this so that I can tie it around my waist. I also want the straps to be longer because I want to be able to tie it in the front, not in the back. I'm going to use this as an example. I'm going to move this to the floor. That's easier. So to create the apron, I folded over a piece of the fabric and drew half of the apron shape on the fold. That way, obviously, when you unfold it, you have a symmetrical apron instead of a wonky one, which would definitely be the case if I drew the entire shape myself. Then I got out my fabric scissors and I cut out the shape that I had drawn onto the fabric. Then I used the strip of fabric that was left to very efficiently cut out the strips that I needed for the straps, because who knows what else I can use this leftover fabric for. I made the waist straps very, very long, about 1 meter, so I can tie them all the way around my waist in the front, but they can absolutely be a little bit shorter if you want, especially if you want to tie them in the back. Then I pressed them flat and also pressed all the seam allowances so it's easier to sew along the edges. That way I don't have to pin everything, because I am lazy that way. Now, I didn't have any thread in the same color as the fabric, but I did find this orange one, which actually created a very nice contrast, so I used that instead. Are you comfortable, sir? You kind of remind me of Buck from Ice Age. Good morning. It is day 2, and all of a sudden, it is cold. So I guess this is what I get for complaining about the good weather. It is actual fall right now. It was really hot yesterday, and then today I am wearing a sweater. It might warm up a little bit later, but for now, sweater time. So where were we? I was making the straps. So I am going to sew this last strip, which is very easy. I'm just gonna sew it together like this and then turn it inside out. And then we will have this strap. Oh, there is not very much left. Let's see if we're gonna run out. I only need a couple of more stitches. I decided not to sew a pocket onto this apron because I never actually use the pockets. Instead, I am adding a strap to the front that you can hang a tea towel on, which I think is very handy to dry your hands as you're working. Now, initially, I was planning on using that same orangey fabric for this, but then I remembered that I had some faux leather left over as well. So I used that instead, which paired really nicely. So while listening to the last Harry Potter audiobook, I started cutting out a little strip and sewing the edges shut before attaching it to the apron.
A curious sensation shot down Harry's arm. I shall need the clankers.
Okay, do I have everything? Probably not. Oh well. Right, so now that the apron is done, I want to make some pumpkins out of socks. Only need a couple of things for this. I have my scissors, a needle, a pair of socks, and a whole bunch of embroidery thread in different colors. I'm also grabbing this pillow, which you, indeed, have ripped apart. I still love you. It's just a little sad that you break my things. What you doing? Oh, mandatory paw scratches. Can I continue? No? Oh. So this pillow insert was already ripped apart. So I am using the Yep, thank you. Okay. I am using the filling of this pillow. I am starting by cutting off the top, and also I'm cutting out the heel. So let's see if I can still remember how it was done. And then maybe I can do one project without stabbing myself with a needle. So although this video is not really intended to be a tutorial, making this sock pumpkin is actually very, very easy. So I'll try and explain very quickly. I cut off the heel and the toes of the sock, leaving me with 2 pretty straight pieces. Then I sew one of the sides shut, fill it up with the stuffing, and make it nice and full. Right when you think it's full enough, just stuff some more in there. And then sew the other side shut as well. Then I stick the needle through the center and move the embroidery thread around the ball in the form of a cross, and then another cross in between those threads, and then you're done. And I don't think that made any sense, which is why I leave the tutorial making to those lovely people with real teaching skills, and I will leave a link for you in the description below. You know, I actually had really wild plans this year to have a pumpkin patch. So I planted a whole bunch of pumpkin plants and they did nothing. They grew really badly. I'm not sure if that is because of the fact that it doesn't get a lot of sun in that part of the garden, or that it's so far away from the house that I just forget to water them. So that did not work. So I have no pumpkins of my own this year. So I thought I will just make them out of socks. Let me know if you grow your own pumpkins to decorate with. I would absolutely love to, and I will definitely try again next year. I will put them in a different place to start with. Keep losing my needle. There it is. I took some twigs that I found outside, globbed some glue on there with my glue gun, and plopped it on top. And then here's a short puppy break that ended in tragedy for his all-time favorite tennis ball. Nice catch! Oh boy. I think it's lost. The ball is lost forever. I do want to decorate this table for fall as well, and I am planning on making a table runner for it, which I've got a very sweet fabric for. It is, I think, very, very cute. And I actually got 3.5 meters of this because this table is, I think, 280 centimeters, which is about 9 feet. So it's a pretty long table, and I want it to cover the entire length of the table and also hang over the edge a little bit. So I'm going to very quickly do this. It's very easy, especially because of the pattern. I can very easily cut a straight line along the lines that are in the pattern, and then I'm just going to sew up all the edges, and that's it, really. Bob's your uncle. So I'm gonna get on with this so that we can start decorating, because decorating is always the most fun part. I usually tend to go a little bit overboard when decorating for fall. I actually have entire boxes full of fall decor, but for this year I actually plan on keeping it quite simple, and then I'll probably go more crazy around Christmas time again. Also, I really like to keep the decor on this table quite simple anyway, because we use this for dinner and I don't always want to have to move everything out of the way when we eat anything, because as I said, lazy. So on the brand new table runner, I placed my favorite vase and added an arrangement of gorgeous faux flowers that I got earlier that day from a local shop in our area. Then I added the sock pumpkins. This is a really hard thing to say. That is pretty much it for now. I cannot promise that I won't be adding any other fall decor later on, but for now, I am done, and I hope you stick around for the next one. When filming takes so long that your coffee gets cold. Ugh.